Curious how your goals, values, and belief impact the way you get dressed? Well, stay tuned. Welcome to the Dress with Purpose podcast. My name is Amanda Hall, and I am your personal stylist. Today, we're going to chat in this episode all about how our goals and aspirations and our values and belief impact the way we get dressed and how that impacts how we dress with purpose. So let's get right into it. So goals, it is January, and most of us have probably set some sort of a goal or intention or have given serious thoughts to where we see ourselves going this year. I know I have set goals, both personally and professionally, fitness-wise, and I have set goals for myself this year. And I have also given myself permission to actually accomplish those goals. And part of that permission is to really embrace and reflect and being intentional about the way that I show up and present myself into the world. And that's how I get dressed with purpose. So, my goals will impact the way I get dressed. So let's talk about your goals and your aspirations for 2024 and maybe beyond. Well, maybe you've set a goal this year to get a different job or apply for a new job, or maybe you're thinking about going back out into the workforce again. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and decided that it's time for you to kind of get back into the workforce. So you have a goal to do that. So that goal is going to impact how you get dressed for a job interview. You're going to want to make sure that the way you dress projects confidence, competence, that you are professional, and that it conveys that you are aware of the environment that you're placed in. And that makes a very big difference on how you're perceived by your potential employer. So that goal is impacted by the way you dress for an interview. So, for example, I have a goal personally to really lean into something I'm going to talk about later, but really leaning into being having a little more of a minimalist wardrobe versus a maximalist wardrobe. So that goal is going to impact the way I sort my closet, the way I determine what will stay, what will go. Maybe you have a goal for fitness. Well, for fitness goals, you're going to want to make sure that you have the right type of fitness wear. I am one of those that I like to dress for the purpose. So I have workout clothes, and I like to look nice when I work out. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel better and it motivates me when I'm working out. So if I have a fitness goal, then my fitness wear is going to reflect that goal. Whether it's running or walking or adding a little bit of dance in or whatever it is in the fitness area, I want to look and feel my best so that I am motivated when I am working towards that fitness goal. So you can kind of see how goals impact how you get dressed. Maybe you have a goal of going out on more dates, whether that be with a significant other, with your husband, and you want to add a little more va-va-voom into your wardrobe so that when you go out on your dates, you feel a little more sexy and you want to feel attractive to who you're on a date with. Well, if that is a goal, that impacts the way you get dressed. So you can see by my examples how our goals impact the way we get dressed. Now, we also have aspirations, dreams, hopes. And so why not dress for those as well? I have aspirations to grow on YouTube and to grow on social media. So the way I get dressed and show up has an impact on what you're seeing on camera. Now, Manda from 5 or 10 years ago, the me of that, would have never put this dress shirt and this fun kind of bohemian jacket together with a pair of black dress slacks and some point toe flats. Now that's how I'm dressed today. But that also is, I want to show you that I'm confident, but I'm also fun. That's who I am. And so that is what I want your first impression of me to be. So first impressions matter. First impressions to the outside world leave an impact of who they think you are. Whether you are that way or not, it leaves that impression. So what impression are you wanting to put out into the world? What impression do you want to give? Do you want to show that you're creative, but also professional? Do you want to show that creativity and self-expression of yours through the way you dress? Our environment determines that. If we're going into the workforce, if we have a creative job, if we are a teacher, or we are a business professional, or whatever that is, you sometimes modify the way you dress to fit into those appropriate situations. But that doesn't mean you can't show who you are in those situations as well. And that is why dress with purpose is so important, and why your hopes and dreams and the things that you want to achieve and the things you want to attain to encompass how you get dressed and show up in the world. Now, so we've talked about first impressions. We've talked about, how we would show up for a job interview, or how we want to be seen in our various facets of our life with our different goals, right? Part of putting all of that together is confidence and mindset. And even last week when we talked about creativity and self-expression, there's a confidence that goes into being able to express yourself and to be creative and to show up in that way. And just like having goals and having dreams and hopes and things that you're going for, confidence has a factor to play in that. Now, I am of the mindset that sometimes you need the outside to help you portray confidence. But I am a huge proponent of confidence coming from the inside. But I have been that person where just getting dressed for the day and feeling and looking my best helped me build confidence and helped me to present confidence. I've done a lot of work over the last 5 or so years where now my confidence is coming from the inside, and how I dress is just more a magnification of that confidence. So we're going to dedicate a whole podcast episode to talking about confidence and mindset. But I wanted to show you how confidence impacts every facet of how we get dressed. And when we dress for our goals and we dress for our aspirations and our dreams, that If it takes getting dressed on the outside to start building that confidence, then that's how it starts. So now let's kind of talk about getting dressed and how that impacts our values and beliefs. So the way we get dressed reinforces and impacts lots of things in our lives. Goals and aspirations, self-expression, and creativity is part of that, but it also reinforces our values and the things that are important to us, what we believe in. Now, you might be someone who believes in sustainability, and so you might look for wardrobes of sustainable fashion, recycled. Maybe you're a DIYer and you like to take your clothes and make them more custom and unique to you. Maybe you are a thrifter. You like to find things that are more vintage. You like to add those things into your wardrobe, or you like to use your DIY creativity with things that you thrift. So sustainability might be one of your values and one of your beliefs, and getting dressed in sustainable clothing is how you would show that value and that belief that you have. Now, you could, as I talked about earlier, you might be a minimalist or a maximalist. You may want to, maybe you are a maximalist and want to become a minimalist. Maybe you're a minimalist and are tired of being a minimalist and want to become a maximalist. No matter what end of the spectrum you fall on, that is a value and a belief that you have. So you are going to find, as a minimalist, multiple ways to wear one piece in your wardrobe. Someone who has a capsule wardrobe or is working towards a capsule wardrobe tends to be somebody who might fall more into the minimalistic type of wardrobe. You might be a maximalist. You just want all sorts of choices in your wardrobe, and you want to go into your closet and you want to express yourself through whatever you can find to put together, and you have lots of choices and lots of options. Either way, that is a value and a belief that you hold to that impacts the way you get dressed every day. Personal growth and mindset also impacts our values and beliefs and how we get dressed in that. Over the last few years, I would say that I was definitely a maximalist, and I am starting to realize, as I'm maturing, as I'm personally growing, that I do want to have a little more simplicity in my life. So I'm moving from a maximalist attitude into a more minimalist way. Now, has that fully happened? No. But is that something that I'm working towards? Yes. And that is a value that I am holding to. So as you grow, as you mature, now, you may mature at a younger age and realize these things at a younger age. I am discovering this more as I get older and as I mature, not only mentally, but physically. So that natural progression also has an impact on how you get dressed. Now, just because you're getting older, that should not prevent you from being who you truly are and dressing who you truly are. Letting that creativity and self-expression flow, allowing what you have goals and aspirations for and your values and beliefs, that should not stop how you show up in the world, who you are. You will see that there may be societal impacts that have an impact on that. There are older women who dress younger. That is who they are. And there is no judgment here. Dress with purpose is about showing up with who you are. You own your creativity, you own your self-expression, you know what your goals are, you know what your aspirations are, you are firm on your values and beliefs, and that is what reflects in the way you get dressed and the way you dress with purpose. So that personal growth and that mindset has an impact on that. And whether that is age determined, whether that is just personal growth determined, whatever that is for you, it is important that you determine what it means to you to dress with purpose. Not what somebody else thinks, not what society expects or what the norms are. It really is a reflection of you. All right, I would love for you to share with me in the comments below how you think your goals and aspirations and values and belief impact the way you get dressed. I'd love to read what you guys have to say about that. Now, there's one thing I would like to still talk about, and that is thoughtful choices. As we lean into our goals, as we lean into our dreams, as we take into account our values and beliefs, I want you to make thoughtful choices about your clothing. Now, I can be a little bit of an impulsive shopper. I see something, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I try it on, it looks great. And I get it home and then it sits in my closet with a tag on it. Is that you? Maybe you do make thoughtful choices and you only buy things that you are going to wear and work into your wardrobe immediately. Well, for those of you who might be a little bit more like me, I have a rule that I have set in place for myself. And this is how I'm intentional and how I use thoughtful choices that it may be in the moment I'm not leaning into. Yet when I get home, if I have a piece that I have bought and picked up and it doesn't make its way into my wardrobe within 7 days, I return it. I just don't want to have clothes with tags sitting in my wardrobe anymore. And so I am intentional and I am thoughtful now in the choices that I make. I am working on not being so impulsive when I see something cute and buying it and then getting home and not working it into my wardrobe so I can spare myself from having to go return it. So I have set goals in that area. So there's another way that goals impact the way we get dressed. It's funny how, when you really think about it, how those impact how we get dressed every day. So, thoughtful choices. We all have a style about us. Some of us repress that style because of what people expect of us, or some of us are very good at expressing their style and showing their creativity and showing up as who they are. But for those of you who might be struggling a little bit, I really want you to think about who you are. How do you want to show up in the world? What does your goals and your values and belief say about who you are? And how you get dressed impacts that. Because people see you and that first impression says something to them about you. So what do you want that first impression to be? I want you to really lean into what dress with purpose means to you. Now, I have always been a huge proponent of getting up, getting dressed, doing your hair. If you wear makeup, do your hair, get dressed. Whether you are going to sit around the house all day, or you're going out to a job, or you're just going out to go to the grocery store, the whole package is part of being dressed with purpose. Makeup, hair, accessories, the way you style something. That's all part of you expressing yourself, you visually showing the world who you are. So I really want you to be very thoughtful about, as you move forward in your wardrobe, as you move forward in shopping for things for your wardrobe, that you're being intentional, that maybe you have set a goal to make that more part of your everyday life. For me, it is who I am. I get dressed every day with purpose. And even if that purpose is to sit at home, I still get up, get dressed, put myself together so that when I look and feel my best, I can accomplish more, get more things done. I can do more towards my goals. I can do more towards what I believe in and what I value. I show up because I have that confidence and because I have gotten dressed for the day. So you will likely not find me very often around the house just in sweats. And if I am wearing leggings, it's usually an outfit I put together so that if I have to run out to the grocery store or do something, I feel my best. And I am putting out there that I am thoughtful about the way I get dressed. I am thoughtful about the way I put myself together. And so I really want you to think about making thoughtful choices. So over the last 2 podcasts, we've talked about creativity and self-expression. Today, we talked about goals and aspirations and how our values and beliefs show up in the way we get dressed. Next week, we are going to talk about confidence and how confidence impacts every single facet of how we get dressed and how we dress with purpose. So don't miss next week's episode because we are going to have a serious chat. And I'm really going to challenge you to show up to next week's episode with a pen in hand and get ready to take some notes. And I'm going to give you some journaling questions to think about as well when it comes to confidence. So next week is going to be a great episode. I'm so excited to talk about confidence because I was a woman who had none. And I have been learning and growing and building confidence in myself. And so I really want to share that with you. I really want to inspire you and encourage you. And so next week, don't miss it. I would love if you would subscribe to this podcast. And if you have any girlfriends who would value from any of this information that I've shared in these last few podcasts, I would love for you to share it with them. So I want to remind you, you get to choose every day to dress with purpose.